Welcome to the Fox 54 Week in Review. I'm Kenesha Dees. It's the only place in North Alabama to get the week's local headlines condensed into one program. Here's a taste of what's ahead. Our top stories this week: Eli Lilly to bring a massive plant to North Alabama. What does this mean for the local economy? And medical cannabis to soon become a reality in Alabama.
I'm thrilled to officially welcome Lilly to our sweet home, Alabama.
You just heard it there. Governor Kay Ivey welcoming Eli Lilly, a major pharmaceutical manufacturer, to the Tennessee Valley today. It's where we start. I'm Kenesha Dees. The company announcing a $6 billion investment with the new plant being built in Limestone County that's expected to bring more than 3,000 jobs to build the facility. Let's show you exactly where this plant is going to be built. The Greenbrier South Industrial Park is located just north of I-565 along Greenbrier Parkway. That's west of County Line Road. That area has become a hot spot in recent years for large-scale facilities like the Target Distribution Center, Polaris Plant, and Amazon Warehouse. The Greenbrier Park site itself was announced in 2022 as a 132-acre development targeting new warehouses and industrial tenants. This was one of 300 sites under consideration by Lilly for its big expansion. For Huntsville Mayor Tommy Battle, he sees this plant as a jobs builder for the area.
This is investment in all of North Alabama. We will be bringing workers into here to work here from Florence, from over in the Sand Mountain, from Coleman area, from into South Tennessee. We'll be able to provide a labor shed that can provide work for people all over North Alabama.
And for CEO David Ricks, he saw North Alabama's history of embracing STEM as a reason for wanting to come to the Rocket City.
Of course, having a scientific and medical discovery understanding, and then a platform to explain what we do, but then also collaborate on the R&D part, is an added benefit with building our presence here.
You know the name Eli Lilly, but did you know the company is one of the world's largest pharmaceutical manufacturers? It's headquartered in Indianapolis and was founded way back in 1876 by Colonel Eli Lilly, a Civil War veteran and drug chemist who set out to make more reliable medicines. Today, Lilly develops drugs for diabetes, cancer, immune disorders, and disease of the brain. And its medicines are sold in countries around the globe. The company employs an estimated 47,000 people worldwide, with a big chunk of its workforce focused on research and development. On the famed Fortune 500 list, it ranks right at number 100. Back here in the Tennessee Valley, Rocket City, Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo joins us live from the Greenbrier Parkway, just yards from Eli Lilly's future home. Caleb, how does it look out there?
Yeah, Kenesha, there's lots and lots of wide empty space out here for manufacturing that'll eventually become the largest initial investment in state history. In fact, it's sitting right around $6 billion as we speak, enough to provide for nearly 3,500 jobs in the area. Though it's just empty land right now, the facility that will call this site home is set to be state-of-the-art. According to Eli Lilly officials, they'll be producing pharmaceutical ingredients for several different medicines, and the labor required is going to be highly skilled, but there will be some opportunities for temporary or entry-level work. To start, they'll need 450 permanent positions, including engineers, scientists, operations staff, and lab technicians. Construction is set to begin next year, and it'll generate around 3,000 jobs just to build the site. Right now, the proposed opening date will be in 2032. Live in Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Thank you, Caleb. Some very exciting developments there. Well, state and city leaders are excited for the investment, saying it's going to be a huge boost to the local economy and raise Huntsville's prominence in the bioscience industry. The factory will bring thousands of jobs to the area, but as Fox 54's Gabe Glassman tells us, it will also have a major impact on the local economy.
Behind me, you may just see an empty field, but in due time, it will be the home of the Eli Lilly industrial facility to come to Huntsville, and we're learning it could have some economic impact to the local area. Eli Lilly is investing $6 billion to bring a new factory to the Rocket City, creating nearly 3,500 jobs, including 450 permanent jobs and another 3,000 construction jobs. The facility teeters on the Limestone-Madison County line. Limestone County Economic Development Association President and CEO Bethany Shockney says an investment of that size could mean economic impact in the local area.
We feel like that we can set the bar for the state of Alabama for more projects like this to come. But for us, it's diversification. You know, we're known particularly over in Limestone County and West Huntsville for a lot of automotive manufacturing jobs and distribution. So this gives us an additional skill set that we can train our people for that will allow, you know, very high paying jobs.
Shockney adds impact can stretch even further, including training to local workforce for jobs that might not be available right now. In Huntsville, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
The arrival of the new facility could also mean more people shopping and dining locally. In just a matter of weeks, you will be able to buy and use medical cannabis here in Alabama. It's after years of litigation and setbacks. The Alabama Medical Cannabis Commission voted unanimously this morning to award the first ever dispensary licenses in the state. The commission awarded licenses to 3 companies, and one of the dispensaries will be right here in North Alabama, Athens. The licenses are set to take effect next month in what the commission is calling a major achievement. Fox 54's Valentina Chalala has more.
After years of delay, Alabama is finally awarding medical cannabis licenses. With only a handful available, dispensaries like GP6 Wellness, which will be located in the suite right behind me, are racing to open while patients wait for access to the new program. Located off Highway 72 in Athens, GP6 Wellness will be one of the 4 possible dispensary companies granted a license.
We want to be able to open as quickly as possible. I think a lot of the hurdles and setbacks that we see, if any, may be, construction and permitting. So hopefully once the municipalities allow us to start our buildups and give us the right permitting, we should be able to start construction and get it off the ground.
The state's new license limits mean only a small number of companies can take part in Alabama's medical cannabis program. Just 5 operators can run full seed-to-sale facilities, and only 4 dispensary companies are allowed, each with strict caps on locations. Jennifer Boozer Stewart, the communication director for the Alabama Cannabis Coalition, says demand will far outpace available licenses, meaning both businesses and patients will be competing for access.
I was told that they only expect to have 50,000 patients on the registry by year 3, which is 1% of the population. There is a provision in the law that says that after 1 year of operation, the state will go back and reassess the demand.
With dispensary licenses now being issued, the next step is getting doctors certified and patients registered for medical cards. Physicians must complete a state training program and can't begin recommending cannabis until the Board of Medical Examiners activates its certification process, a step that depends on dispensaries being ready. In Athens, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
The commission plans to issue the remaining dispensary licenses in January once permits and build-outs are complete. GP6 Wellness Dispensary says they hope to open sometime next year. The U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth visited Redstone Arsenal for a symbolic event celebrating the expected move of Space Command HQ to Huntsville. Let's take a look. U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth visited Redstone Arsenal this afternoon to help unveil new signage for the future home of U.S. Space Command. Leaders say this marks another step in moving the Space Command headquarters to Huntsville, pushing the transition into full gear. Hegseth and other officials walked the site, highlighting what will soon become the future home. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman spoke to state leaders in attendance about how today kickstarts the process.
You can read it for yourself. Home of U.S. Space Command right here on a Redstone Arsenal. And in the coming years, this open field will turn into the future headquarters of Spacecom. Trumpets blared as the motorcade carrying one of the top U.S. government officials arrived at Redstone Arsenal. U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth ready to welcome Space Command to the Rocket City.
It's a recognition of a full speed ahead, full steam motion to ensure that we break ground, we move, we build, we move people, we move capabilities right where it should be as quickly as possible. The quicker we establish this, the more robust the capabilities are, the more likely we are able to deter the next conflict and, if necessary, stand prepared to overwhelmingly defeat our enemies.
Secretary Hegseth was joined by multiple local, state, and national leaders at Friday's sign unveiling.
We're doing what's right for national security, and that's the effort when we went to Congress. But this shows with the Alabama and Tennessee delegation, we all fought for this, to do what was right for America.
Huntsville earned this. They deserve this. Should not have been delayed as long as it's been delayed.
It was really important that we as a delegation really come together as one voice for Huntsville as a Space Command.
This decision is what's best for national security, and that Alabama is the right home for Space Command.
The competition was where a Space Command could work best to protect the world, and that competition was chose Huntsville, Alabama, time and time again.
But legal challenges still remain in the way of the official move of Space Command. Colorado issued a summons to the Trump administration back in November challenging the transfer. However, local Congressmen Dale Strong and Mike Rogers aren't worried.
They can file a lawsuit. That's theater. They know they have no basis for that. We've already started to move the transition. This will be complete during this administration, and there's nothing Colorado can do about it.
Yes, there's a lawsuit. We're not worried about it. Do you believe the Secretary of War would be here if this wasn't going forward?
There's no definite timeline on when the full Space Command transition will be complete, but state leaders say the work continues. From Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
A landmark signing today could shape the future of energy and employment in North Alabama for decades to come. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission and the Tennessee Valley Authority signed a 20-year extension at the Browns Ferry Training Center in Athens today. Fox 54's Logan Alexander Russell was there and tells us the significance of this extension.
Today, we witnessed a major milestone that secured the future of energy production in the Tennessee Valley.
The Browns Ferry nuclear plant secured a long-sought 20-year extension on its operating license. This renewal allows the facility to continue its mission as a major power source, providing power for hundreds of thousands of homes in the Tennessee Valley. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission and TVA officials say the extension is crucial for not just providing energy, but also maintaining jobs in the area.
We can extend the life of this asset for another 20 years, and I firmly believe another 20 years beyond that. That means we continue to provide some of the lowest cost electricity in the country. That's really what it means. It means that grandma and grandpa's power bill is going to continue to be one of the best in the country. It means that single mom who's trying to raise their kids is not going to have to make a decision to pay my power bill or my water.
Browns Ferry is already TVA's largest generating asset and the third largest nuclear power producer in the U.S., producing almost 4,000 megawatts of power, enough to serve an estimated 2 million homes across the Tennessee Valley, with TVA planning to add up to 244 megawatts of additional energy over the next 10 to 15 years. In Athens, Logan Alexander Russell, Fox 54 News.
Today's announcement comes on the heels of the plant's 50th anniversary. The Browns Ferry plant recently allowed Fox 54 to tour the facility, which you can find on our website, fox54.com. The Boys and Girls Club of North Alabama have a big new home this week. They celebrated the grand opening of the new 50,000 square foot facility named for the local businessman and philanthropist Frank J. Williams. News for your kids. The Boys and Girls Club of North Alabama unveiled a new state-of-the-art facility in Huntsville today. The Frank J. Williams Boys and Girls Club is located at 3911 Pulaski Pike in Huntsville and is a massive investment in the community's future by serving more than 1,000 kids every year. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell was there for the grand opening and has a look inside the new facility.
Here in the Rocket City, we celebrate innovation, and today Huntsville is investing in its most important resource, our youth.
The Frank J. Williams Boys and Girls Club officially opened this morning. The new cutting-edge facility represents one of the largest child development investments in the city's recent history. It's a massive 50,000 square foot building on a 14-acre campus. It's expected to serve more than 1,000 young people annually with programs focused on academics, workforce readiness, and whole child development. The president of the North Alabama Club says the facility is a resource for all young folk.
So many times people have this mindset that Boys and Girls Club is just for poverty. But Boys and Girls Club is for everybody. Every single kid deserves a structured after-school program. We have Boys and Girls Clubs in all communities. And so it's not just for one certain demographic. We serve all kids at Boys and Girls Club.
The milestone was made possible through significant support from community partners, including Frank J. Williams, Redstone Federal Credit Union, Meta, and Whitesburg Baptist Church, among others. These partnerships helped fund state-of-the-art rooms like a STEM suite, a Meta Smart Gym blending fitness with digital engagement, and a dedicated workforce development and college career program. The club will start serving the youth in the community at the beginning of January once school is back in session. From Huntsville, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
Wow, how exciting. And Logan, Alexandra, you mentioned this new club is one of the most significant investments in Huntsville's youth. But you personally, Logan, seeing a facility like this, it kind of opened up your eyes, and it must hit a little different for you.
Yes, especially for me. I grew up going to the Boys and Girls Club. My mom has sat on the board for our clubs back home in Northern Virginia for over a decade now, and even served as the president. So I was constantly at the club, both utilizing their resources and volunteering as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I never got a chance to be part of the Boys and Girls Club of North Alabama. Well, not of North Alabama, but of any Boys and Girls Club. I didn't get to volunteer. I told you earlier that I wanted to volunteer.
Yes.
And there are ways to do that, right?
Yes, so you can go online to their website and you can go ahead and apply. And then it's just a short process that they would take, background check, and then you'd be able to start volunteering. And today they had the opportunity for people who wanted to sign up in person. You could sign up in person, and if you did, you could put what area you wanted to volunteer in.
That's awesome. And then I know too that they're accepting kids, right? They're admitting kids too at this time?
Yes, so it will start at the beginning of January when school is actually back in session.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that information. We'll continue to keep tabs on that new facility. This week in sports, some parents concerned about access to girls' sports in Huntsville City Schools, and Alabama and Auburn announced their 2026 schedules. At least one Huntsville middle school is having challenges filling their girls' basketball team for the upcoming year. And Huntsville City Schools says it comes down to a lack of participation. Now, community members are weighing in as to why that is. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman breaks it down.
Concerns over participation in girls' sports has risen over the last couple of days on social media, more specifically involving programs at Mountain Gap School and Challenger Middle School. District 3 board member Andrea Alvarez posted yesterday about the Mountain Gap Middle School girls basketball team and how they didn't have enough athletes signed up for this season. It's important to note this post also mentions how there weren't enough athletes for Challenger's softball team. However, Huntsville City Schools does not include softball in their standard middle school athletic programs. But the post still received dozens of comments with feedback, including one parent suggesting it's a lack of interest. The comments continue, this person saying their daughter stopped playing sports in high school because she would have to give up classroom time to play competitively. Another comment says, I had to take a lot of time off from work to drive my kids to the games, and that's not an option for everyone. The post also mentions cost, saying fundraisers are an option, but they don't cover anything. Other responses vary, going more in depth about cost and how there are more options for extracurricular activities. An HCS spokesperson says, as with many school districts, athletic offerings can vary from year to year based on student interest and participation. In instances where there are not enough students to form a team, the sport may not be offered at that school for that season. The school district tells us any Mountain Gap students who want to play girls basketball this year will still have the chance they're able to try out for the Grissom High School basketball team. In Huntsville, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
We reached out to the Alabama High School Athletic Association to see if this is part of a larger issue in the state, but they were not available today. We'll continue following this story as we learn more.
The SEC unveiling the 2026 football schedule for football fans across the way. Here's some key games for Alabama. Season opener next year on September the 5th against Eastern Carolina. SEC play beginning against Kentucky the following week. Florida State goes to Tuscaloosa on September the 19th. In October, Alabama will play Mississippi State, Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas. See the entire schedule on FOX54.com. What about Auburn? Well, the Tigers begin their season in Atlanta against Baylor. Then the Auburn Tigers will play host to Florida and Vanderbilt at the end of September. In October, the road games to Tennessee, Georgia, and Ole Miss. Those are going to be tough. And they've got one home game against LSU. The Iron Bowl is November the 28th. As I mentioned, you can see the entire schedule on FOX54.com.
There's more to Fox 54 Plus with the Locked On Podcast Network. From the Tide to the Tigers, from college teams to pro. The Locked On Podcast Network gives you insights and analysis you just can't find anywhere else.
These kids, They want to play.
And I don't think so. I think it was Chad Baker-Mazzara.
Locked On Sports, streaming every day of the week and right here on Fox 54 Plus.
There's a lot going on around the Tennessee Valley, including the opening of Hattie B's restaurant in Huntsville and the reveal of a spy plane at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. A popular Nashville hot chicken chain made its debut at the Stadium Commons today. The line at Hattie B's, check it out, was out the door and stretched through the parking lot as eager patrons waited to get their hands on some fiery poultry. Hattie B's is the first tenant to open in the Stadium Commons mixed-use development next to Wicks Family Field, and owners Nick Bishop Jr. and Sr. were excited to see the Rocket City lineup for their chicken.
I drove up and I saw the line. I was really kind of blown away. Our openings generally are more of a trickle crowd coming in, but I think the people in Huntsville, they know Hattie B's, they know our brand from our locations in Birmingham and Nashville. So I think that's a big part of the crowd showing up and all they've done. But I was blown away.
Oh yeah, FOX54 got the chance to speak with one fan who was excited to finally get some Nashville hot chicken in Huntsville.
I actually went to the soccer game that they were at like a couple months ago once they were in season. So I tried out some of their chicken there and it was fantastic. It was delicious. So I'm excited to have some more. Last time when I was at the soccer game, I had the chicken sandwich. So I think today I need to go spice it up. So I'm going to go spicy chicken sandwich here today.
Yes, now it's here. The Bishops say they have plans in the works to grow in the Tennessee Valley in the coming years. A restored spy plane unveiled. Here's a look. The U.S. Space and Rocket Center removed the inflatable tent that covered the Lockheed Martin A-12 Oxcart aircraft for months. The plane typically stands near the museum entrance, but was relocated to the parking lot and placed under the protective canopy while undergoing extensive restoration work. It was a significant step in the refurbishment of one of aviation's most secretive Cold War legends. The restoration involved stripping the aircraft down to its titanium skin before applying fresh primer, new paint, and updated markings. After more than 4 months, all investigations into an incident at Deschler High School that severely injured a student are officially closed, and people in the community are shocked to find that no one is being held responsible. August Borden was seriously injured back in August after falling down a set of concrete stairs outside Deschler High School. Since then, people have been active on social media speculating about what caused his injuries, and people in the community still feel that justice has not yet been served. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo takes us to Tuscumbia to hear from some concerned and frustrated community members.
The Tuscumbia community is speaking out after an internal investigation at Deschler High School claimed there was no ill will leading to August Borden's injuries. 4 months later, residents here saying the whole situation is a wound that won't heal quickly. Outside attorneys for Tuscumbia City Schools released their own statement to the district's Board of Education Wednesday, with the district asking the community to move on. The statement said, "We understand this has been a difficult situation. However, we need to find a way to move forward together as a district and community." But residents here in Tuscumbia say something still needs to be done, many calling for accountability.
It really has rocked the community, and we just want this young man to be able to get his life back together and do what he needs to do to heal. And the community also needs to heal from this as well.
This anonymous resident says it's hard to heal when your questions are left unanswered.
They're telling us that it was just boys being boys and roughhousing, but this young man's life has been irrevocably altered. He has a traumatic brain injury. He's not going to be able to do the things that he used to do. He's got such a long road of healing ahead of him. And just to say, oh, it was nothing. I don't think anybody believes that.
We had protests and everything here in Tuscumbia, and it seems like nothing was really done. Like they kept passing the case around, as I know, but nothing was being done about it. Someone needs to be held accountable for it, because especially a kid that was super young didn't deserve to have his life, hurt in a way, because he played football. So he deserved to continue playing football.
With the criminal and school investigations officially closed, the path ahead will be a long road to healing for the entire community. In Tuscumbia, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Attorneys say the board and family is still seeking justice through a civil suit, though the progress in that case is not yet clear.
Aye.
Councilmember Beer?
Nay.
Council President Robleski?
Aye.
Councilmember McKay?
Nay.
Councilmember Lessman?
Aye.
Councilmember White?
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson?
Aye.
You just heard it there. The city of Madison has voted to join a major lawsuit against the state of Alabama regarding the simplified seller's use tax. It's where we start tonight. I'm Kenesha Dees. The city of Decatur voted earlier today to support the lawsuit, challenging how Alabama splits its online sales tax. Council members made the decision during a special called meeting this afternoon. The simplified seller's use tax, or SSUT, is a state program created in 2015 to collect an 8% tax on online purchases from out-of-state sellers. Half goes to the state, the other half is split among cities and counties based on population, not where the sale happens.
A few hours ago, Decatur wrapped up its special called city council meeting, with the big question on the table being whether or not to join the SSUT lawsuit. City council voted unanimously to move forward in supporting the lawsuit, but decided not to join. Decatur officials say the current structure has cost cities across Alabama millions. They also add that by treating delivery companies like Amazon and third-party shippers as if they were the ones making the sale, the state ends up sending less tax money back to local communities. According to city leaders, Decatur alone has lost an estimated $55 million since 2016 under the SSUT program.
It's really important that our citizens are aware of this issue and understand how it impacts the city of Decatur fiscally, and how we may be able to look at it in the future. You know, some of the ways we're missing out on funds and maybe what some of those funds could have been used for. This is simply to look at how the funds are distributed and really what is considered a seller and what is considered a facilitator in the state under the SSUT law.
While Decatur stops short of formally joining the lawsuit, City Council says they fully support the cities moving forward with it, including Tuscaloosa and Mountain Brook. In Decatur, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
Madison city officials confirmed they have joined the lawsuit, making them the latest North Alabama community to take action against the current SSUT structure. Let's wrap up this week by meeting our latest top teacher of the 2025-26 school year, Courtney Calvin of Austin Middle School, who's helping students be the best versions of themselves.
Now, Fox 54's Top Teacher, sponsored by Calhoun Community College.
Teachers are known to push their students to be the best versions of themselves, and according to one parent, that's exactly what this teacher does. I got to witness it firsthand while she taught social studies, and personally, it was one of my favorite subjects when I was in school. Meet this week's Fox 54's top teacher, Courtney Calvin from Austin Middle School. Welcome to
Social Studies kind of chose me. I didn't really choose social studies.
Courtney Calvin's class. On this day,
A stylish young woman who focused on having fun
was a pop quiz. Calvin quizzing her Austin Middle School 6th graders on everything they know.
We do what is called visual vocabulary. So they have to take the vocabulary word and come up with a definition in their own words. I do give them the definition, but then they have to change it.
Calvin has been teaching for 5 years.
We ready? All right, the next one.
She first started off in kindergarten, but spent the latter half of her 5 years teaching 6th graders.
I loved the little children, but I just kind of, as I got into teaching, I realized very quickly that I really wanted to work with older children.
And the big kids, if you will, love working with her.
She's nice, she's caring, she helps me with a lot of things.
Her class, she's nice, and she helped me with a lot of stuff, and I learned a lot of things in this class.
They even love the creative way they learn in her class.
There's this thing called ESPN, economics, social, political, and environment.
Principal Emily Harris believes it's her ability to connect with the kids that helps them learn.
Coach Calvin really meets them where they need to be met. She gets to know the kids, she lets them get to know each other, and supports them in all of their subjects.
Calvin is given the title coach for a reason. In addition to teaching, she coaches cheerleading, but for her, it's bigger than them cheering and learning history.
I always tell them I hope that they leave, not just as students that know history, but citizens that are prepared for life.
Congratulations, Mrs. Calvin. You'll get to see the moment she was surprised as the Fox 54 top teacher later tonight on Fox 54 Plus. Download on your TV, watch for free, and we're always open for nominations. Nominate a deserving teacher on fox54.com. Congratulations to Mrs. Colvin. Thanks for watching Fox 54's Week in Review. Count on Fox 54 Plus to bring you more great programming with in-depth local specials, locked on sports, true crime, cooking shows, wellness experts, and continuing weather coverage. For everyone at Fox 54 News, I'm Kenesha Dees. Have a great weekend.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then, stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush, fast-paced news updates featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True Crime Warrior Style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look, to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.
Did you know that you can get weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus? Here's how. Go to Fox 54 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or Samsung. Once you're on the main screen, push the down arrow and click on the Fox 54 Plus Weather Impact 24/7 block. Here, you'll find radar, current temperatures and conditions, traffic cams, forecasts, and more, all available on demand. Want to get back to the main channel? Just push the down arrow and click on the 24/7 stream button. It's your weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus. Start streaming today.